everyone, and welcome to Off the Wall. This is our fourth day of 25 Days of Christmas here on Off the Wall, and I got Jason back with me. Jason, how you doing?
I'm doing great. It's awesome. It's a great time of year to be watching movies.
Yes, this technically is a movie, and the movie we're speaking of today is Best Period Christmas Period Ever! Exclamation mark. Yeah, this was not a good movie, which we predicted that we will have some duds in this 25 Days of Christmas. And this is the first actual dud we've had. Day four, first dud.
Woohoo!
Are you ready to get into this movie? We're going straight to spoilers because
Go
this
for it.
movie is crap. This movie's so crap.
Best part of this movie is Brandy singing.
All right, we have these two families, one that seems to have this perfect life. Jackie, played by Brandy, likes to put out these holiday newsletters. She didn't put one out last year, but this year she's sending them out to everyone, and you get to learn about her daughter, the youngest person ever accepted to Harvard at 10 years old. Her son Daniel, who is working in Africa and building water purification systems, and her husband is a karate instructor and is doing the play for the town. She's sold her business and now is in retirement. So everything's going really well for this family. They've traveled a lot, and their plans is to travel the world in a hot air balloon that is powered by solar power. Then you have this other family, Charlotte's family, who's played by Heather Graham, who does not like family holiday newsletters and views her family accomplishments as hardly newsworthy. Thanks to Marvel, her daughter thinks she has superpowers, keeps testing them out. So next time you want to try flight, let me know first. Her son thinks that he's a ninja warrior. Her husband, played by Jason Biggs, dreams about buying houses, fixing them up, and selling them. And she used to dream about being a famous inventor, but she's given up on that. She thinks Jackie is full of shit, basically. She doesn't say that word because they don't curse in this movie, but I feel like they should have. And that the family accomplishments probably never actually happened. That's her guess. So, thoughts on the juxtaposition of these two families?
Where do I start? Jason Biggs and Heather Graham have zero chemistry. Like, absolutely none. It is like watching petroleum jelly and peanut butter try to make a sandwich. It's terrible. It's awful. They have
What
zero.
made you go to petroleum jelly?
I was trying to find the worst combination possible because it just wasn't. It didn't work. It wasn't working to me. I feel like Heather Graham is miscast. Jason Biggs feels like he works in this movie, but I feel like Heather Graham may be a little bit miscast. She makes poor decisions. It just didn't work. The kids, the daughter doing her superpower thing, it's an actually cool concept. I thought I had superpowers when I was a kid. Did that stuff all the time. It made me laugh. And the kid with the monkey was honestly entertaining as hell because
That monkey was creepy as hell.
it was great though because it was just one of those like
Kept
moments.
scaring the shit out of his mom.
I know, and it was like one of those things where it was like, oh, Bob had a great idea. Bob has a really good idea. Bob's got a good idea, and I was like, this is working for me. On the other side, you have Brandy's family. Brandy and the husband have insane chemistry. You feel it, like straight up. You feel the love. You feel the chemistry. You feel the connection. You feel the fact that they're a very close knit group. And then you
Mhm.
have the daughter who had to look at this because I was like, wait, why does the daughter look familiar? But the daughter was from let it
Dashing through the
Dashing Through the
snow.
Snow. So this chick is killing it this
Two
holiday
Christmas
season. Two
movies.
two for four. Is she going to be in more? Let's see. Honestly, she's fabulous. I thought she was really funny and scene steals every once in a while.
I'm gonna disagree with you a little bit. I did not like any of the kids, and I loved her in Dashing Through the Snow, and I thought she was annoying in this movie and ruining Santa for other kids. And I was just like, "You're a brat, and I don't like you." And I really liked you in the other movie. I just don't like anyone in this movie. Let's just be honest. This movie was worse than a Hallmark movie. I did not like it.
I, I
Anywho,
I completely agree with you. This movie is, I would give it a star, 1.5 maybe, because I see the potential. Some of the stuff you see coming, there's a drama point halfway through the movie where it's done and glided over like super quickly, and it's just,
but we'll get to that. We'll
yeah,
get to that.
yeah.
So, Charlotte and her family are traveling to go visit her sister's house for the holidays, but they put in the wrong address. They blame Bob the monkey into the GPS and end up at Jackie's. And the second they show up, I'm like, oh, this is probably Jackie's place. How convenient.
Convenient.
Very convenient. Jackie convinces them to stay the night because it's past midnight when they arrive, and her husband have an active sex life and rock the boat so much that the bed moves in Charlotte and Rob's room. Rob sleeps through that, so I guess it shows you what type of sleeper he is. The next morning, they find out that they are snowed in and have to stay, which Charlotte's not really having it. We found out that her husband and Jackie used to date in college, and there is jealousy brewing there. You can also see it there when the kids are having Jackie's pancakes and going, "These are so much better than yours, Mom." So, thoughts on this section?
Okay. All right. One, the plot point of, hey, here, kid, enter in your aunt's address. We're so technologically inept that we can't see on the GPS system that it's driving me 15 hours away from where we're supposed to be. And I'm just like,
Was it
really?
15 hours away from where they're
It was some ridiculous thing because they said like, I thought he was closer, and you're like, you're not looking, you haven't stopped once, you haven't been like.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh my god, this plot point. And then Brandy's like, "Oh, you're here. Oh, great, wonderful. Let's stay," and all this sort of stuff. The writing is just all over the map, and it's just not working. All of a sudden, you're supposed to be like, "Brandy's perfect. Brandy's wonderful. Mom sucks. Our mom sucks. Heather Graham's horrible." I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah.
"Yeah,
Well,
yeah."
Charlotte checks to see if everything Jackie wrote about in the newsletters was true, and to her dismay, it is true. The driveway is actually heated, so it turns out they weren't snowed in. And even though Charlotte is being weird, I'm was getting suspicious of Jackie because, like, oh, you're snowed in, you have to stay. JK, you're not snowed in. And there's all these random things. Even earlier, she says goodnight to Rob, but doesn't say goodnight to Charlotte. And I'm like, what is going on here? They go to town to pick a tree for Christmas, and Jackie and Val are all hot and heavy on each other. And to compete with Jackie, Charlotte's like, I'm gonna make out with my husband too. But she had just touched one of the trees and has sap on her hand, so it gets stuck in his hair. Thoughts on this section?
It was stupid. I feel like the SAP section is setting up for later. It was totally unnecessary, and again, completely stupid. I'm married, so it's like it's one of those type deals where I these kind of things irritate me in movies, and it just really
Mm-hmm.
bothers me. And this movie is no exception where it completely bothered me.
Charlotte sees that her husband sent a letter to Jackie, and jealousy is brewing. When she goes to ask him, have you been in contact with her lately? He lies and says no. So I understand why she's being a little cray cray. People around her are hiding stuff and not telling her the truth. And she knows, and she's not telling them that she knows. And it's just drama being created for drama's sake when there's no reason. Tell the truth, everyone's gonna be fine. They have dinner, and Jackie and Robbie are being a little too friendly with each other for Charlotte's liking. And she ends up drinking with Jackie's husband, Val, and he noticed that Charlotte is bothered. And they have this conversation. And she even asked him, does it bother you that they are so close with one another at dinner? And he's like, no, I love it when people are attracted to my wife. It was one of those like, They can't have her. I can. So I love when people look at her because it's like, yeah, I got a hot wife. And he instills this wisdom. Two people can be attracted to each other without it meaning anything. Then Charlotte asks him, "Are you attracted to me?" And flat out says no so quickly. And I was like, damn, that's
Damn.
harsh. And I thought she looked really good. I liked the way she did her hair. I really liked her outfit. And then it gets a no. So, thoughts on this section?
Apparently he has never seen Boogie Nights. Boogie Nights doesn't exist in this universe, and Roller Girl doesn't exist in this universe. How can you look at Heather Graham and not say she's pretty and be attracted to her? But so you said it absolutely perfectly, Soul. This entire section with the letter is so dumb. It's ridiculous. It is drama to create drama. It is poor, poor, poor writing. This is from like a telenovela or a soap opera, but honestly,
Yeah.
the writing on a telenovela and a soap opera is better than this nonsense. If he comes clean about this drama point, it's over, it's done, move on. It's
Yeah.
over. And now
But
it's
then
like,
you don't have a movie. Right. Well, we have a series of events happen. So we're going to go through these really quickly because they happened really quickly in this movie. Beatrix, Jackie's daughter, is trying to prove Santa isn't real and ruining that for all the kids around. Brat. Charlotte snoops around the house trying to find the letter her husband wrote to Jackie and gets locked out in the cold. We get a musical number of Jackie and Rob singing Let It Snow. Charlotte snoops some more and gets struck down by Val, who thought she was a burglar. There's this dollhouse that belonged to Val's mother that Jackie fixed up and was a Christmas gift for him and Beatrix, but Charlotte accidentally breaks it when she tries to get up from being knocked down by Val. The letter Rob sent to Jackie was a holiday newsletter. He's been sending them to friends and family and swore them all to secrecy because he knew how much she hates those brag letters. Thoughts on all these events?
it's really simple. This writing sucks. Whoever wrote this damn movie needs to be fired, and this is the reason why. Yes, the kids part of this is comical because they're into these little hijinks. Their daughter is super smart, and then the monkey and the kid, like they're playing the comic connection between Brandy's daughter and the son are it's working. It's like
Mhm.
it's a really
For
it's
you, working for you,
it's
not for
working
me.
for me. It's working for me because it's like a buddy cop. They're doing this whole buddy cop thing to solve the Santa thing,
The
and it's
Santa
real.
investigation.
Yeah, the Santa investigation. For like a kids Disney movie, I feel like this would have worked perfectly. But again, the Heather Graham stuff just isn't working because you're like this letter stuff is stupid. The dollhouse is gorgeous. That was a
Mhm.
gorgeous dollhouse. And then you wreck it, and I love the fact that karate chopped her. That was fucking great. Like someone should have karate chopped the writers, but whatever.
Damn.
It, I know, right? Brandy's singing is what gives this movie, in my opinion, a star. Her singing is fabulous.
Well, we get some more events. Again, super fast pace, going one right after the other. Charlotte reads all the past letters her husband has been sending and decides to surprise him on Christmas by getting a loan to buy the house he was talking about at the beginning of the film. Charlotte and Rob fix up the dollhouse. Grant wants to prove that Santa is real and has left to go back to where Santa would be expecting him, but then ends up at a Japanese restaurant because he's a ninja. This makes no sense. Charlotte's company is going under because of faulty vacuums. Charlotte sunk all their emergency funds into the new house, so she's gonna go and revoke the loan, but she has to do the signature in person. Charlotte drives by a sign that says Daniel Jennings Memorial Fund. Jackie's son, Daniel, died, and his fund is what's saving the world and building that water well in Africa. So you do get a heartfelt moment out of nowhere, but the rest of everything's moving too fast, and this came too fast too that you doesn't sit with you
Yeah,
long enough.
yeah, yeah.
Thoughts on
Uh,
this?
my favorite part of the investigation happened during this section when they used the tree stab on Bob's mitts, dropped Daniel's. He says, "I got a plan. I need the tree sap." Dropped the monkey through a window and pulled the annoying Santa costume off the dude's head and he freaked out and it freaked out a kid. I thought that was hilarious. I was loving that. I thought that was great. But again, you're absolutely right. You had been wondering what the moment was. What is the reasoning for all of the Daniel stuff? But
Hmm.
then you don't sit in it long enough to actually make it worthwhile.
Yeah.
You get a heartfelt conversation between Heather Graham and Brandy, but where Brandy explains the whole thing. But again, you're not sitting in it. You've not developed this enough. It's like a wine. You can't just pop the cork and drink it straight away. You got to pop the cork, let it breathe a little bit to get the full body. And I this movie just keeps on doing bam, 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 bam,
Yeah.
too quick and not enough. There's too many plot points. They're not just like
Yeah.
they should
There's
have.
a lot.
Yeah, there's way too many. They should have just edited some stuff out.
Well, the hot air balloon is going to be the star of Bethlehem in the Christmas show for the town. But as Jackie is about to leave, the balloon stops working, and since Charlotte's an engineer, she helps fix it very quickly. And Jackie's off of the ground when she asks, "You want to come with?" And you would think, oh, she'd go back to the ground. No, let me put the ladder out. It makes no sense. Why would you do that? Why would you force her to climb up a ladder into the hot air balloon instead of go back to the ground? You're literally 4 feet off the ground, basically. It was so dumb. Dumb choices in this movie.
Okay, I got to stop you right there real quick because this is a plot point. This is a thing, and it drives me nuts. I work IT, and this is the same stuff with engineering that drives me nuts. Hey, look at me. I'm an engineer. I can just look at a screen, and I understand what's. I look at this little contraption you have on this hot air balloon. I know absolutely nothing about hot air balloons, but I'm an engineer, so and I can fix it just like that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? At
Mm-hmm.
least look at the blueprints. At least spend 2 seconds to like, hey, I can read these blueprints. I can see what's going on here. Oh, I have an idea. Let me try this. But no, we cut that part out. All we're doing is like, I'm like using an MCU power, and I'm just like, oh Lord. And then you do the ladder, and I'm just like,
It's dumb. It's dumb. But the ladder, they never pull back up the ladder. And it ends up pulling the sleigh off of the house, and she has the monkey with her and goes, Bob has an idea. So that damn monkey, man. And she climbs down the ladder into the sleigh while they're flying in the air because she's going to pretend to be Santa. So when they're flying across the sky, her son can see Santa up in the sky and believe that Santa is real. And I thought this was going to be a normal movie where Santa's not real, just like in the real world. But then we get Santa for 2 seconds. And I was like, the fuck? Why is this plot point being introduced? And it's literally no longer than a minute. It is 1 minute long. So we get a real Santa, maybe. And this is out of nowhere. Then you have the Star of Bethlehem in this show, and Brandy sings at the end, and now they're doing a joint newsletter between the two families going forward. Thoughts on this ending?
Mariah Carey saved the day. And you don't even get All I Want for Christmas. What was the fact is
Right?
that like did Mariah Carey cost too much or did she not like so you can get the Mariah Carey picture being like the mint shit with the gloves. I'm just yeah. Mm, just eh, yeah, no. And then the daughter comes up and says like, "Kids, Santa's real. We saw him." And I'm just like, "Oh God."
This girl's at Harvard, y'all.
Yeah,
Uh, as a 10-year-old.
right? But I will say this. I will say this. One scene that I really loved with her was the negotiation scene in the bank with the
Mm.
mortgage guy.
But, anyways, we didn't like this movie, if you couldn't tell. But we hope that there'll be some movies that we do like. Go watch our first 2 days of this 25 days of Christmas because we really enjoyed those. So I've been Soul. That's Jason. This is Off the Wall. Make sure to come back tomorrow for the fifth day of 25 Days of Christmas. And we'll see you.